Hey guys, today we're trying to become a citizen of the United States of America. Let's go. Yes, I know that's not exactly how you imagined it, but you do that online. Once you get to your computer, you want to go to the uscis.gov address. I'm going to provide that in the description below. And you want to log in if you have a login. If you don't, you want to register. So this is the main page of USCIS. You want to sign in here or create an account here. Once you sign in, this is what the page looks like. You want to right away go to file a form online. The form that we're going to work with is called N-400, and that's actually application for naturalization. So naturalization is also known as citizenship. Everyone who came from a different country and tried to become a citizen, it's naturalization process. So we're going to choose application for naturalization, and we're gonna start the form. There's nothing too complicated, pretty self-explanatory, but there's at the very beginning they're gonna ask you for eligibility question. It's a little tricky. There's a couple nuances that I'm gonna cover. So one of the first questions they're gonna ask: were any of my parents a US citizen when I was born? Is no. I'm not gonna get into details on every single nuances. If you have questions, shoot me a comment below. Because if I go every single scenario, this video will take 2 days. So you have to be over 18. Then they're gonna ask a bunch of questions about military. I haven't served, so we're gonna click no. Then they're gonna ask if I'm a lawful permanent resident, which means do I have a green card? I'm gonna click yes, because that is my scenario. And then they're gonna ask me, when did I become a lawful permanent resident? Before November 2015, or between November 2015 and 17, or neither of this applied to me. So if it's neither to apply to me, that means you don't have a green card and there's an issue, then you might not be eligible. There's exceptions. Again, shoot me a comment. I might be able to go over and help you out. Basically, the reason they asked for this date, they're trying to determine if you had a green card for at least 5 years. So that's a usual scenario. You have to have green card for at least 5 years before you apply for citizenship. Now, there are exceptions, and that's why there is a second option between 2015 and 2017, which means if you have a spouse that is a US citizen, so in my case, it was a K1 visa that my fiance or my wife came to the United States, so it hasn't been the 5 years that she's been here. But for our case, 3 years is enough. Your wife or husband has to be a citizen for that 3 years, and you have to be married. Little note, it's kind of tricky. People who have gone through the fiance or spouse visa, they know this. Once you get married, you get a green card, but that green card is for 1 year. Then you have to remove, because it's a green card with conditions. So after a year, you have to remove conditions. So it's a separate application form to remove conditions from a green card, and after that they give you a green card for 10 years. So the question is, does that 3 years start with the green card when the conditions are removed, or right when she got even the green card with conditions? And the answer is the time begins with whenever you got the first green card. Doesn't matter if it had conditions or no. That's when the timer starts. Okay, so if you, for example, got your green card, you just got married, you got your green card into 2020, you will be able to apply for citizenship in 2023. You don't have to wait for it to remove conditions, start timer then. Okay, and then of course, once you choose the option 3-year green card holder rather than 5 years, it's gonna ask you a logical question: are you married to a US citizen? So in our case, you're gonna click yes. And then, have you been married for 3 years or longer? Yes. Has your spouse been a US citizen for 3 years or longer? So that has to be also yes. And then also, you cannot leave United States for a very long period of time. So they're gonna ask you, have you left the United States in the past 3 years? We're gonna click yes, because we did travel to Azerbaijan, but it was a short trip. So see, that's a logical next question. Have any of your trip outside of the United States been longer than 6 months? So if it's a 6 month or longer away, well, it's actually there are different documents. If you're away from the country for more than a year, there's different document to fill out before you travel for that long. And if there is so basically longer than 6 months away from the United States before you become a citizen, you'll need some additional they'll need some additional information, some additional forms. Have you moved in the past 3 months? No, that's more of a question to the address, where to send it and all that. And then basically it determines that yes, I am eligible, I can apply for naturalization. And then we're gonna go ahead and start the application. So it's $640 for the application plus $85 fee for biometrics. Sometimes the biometrics fee is waived, but not always. They will let you know. A few weeks later, they're gonna send you invite to do the biometrics, which consists of like fingerprints, signature, photo. And then they're gonna schedule the interview. At the interview, you'll have to answer questions about your application, take the civics and English test as required. So civics and English test, you have to prepare for that, because there's some information that even Americans who were born in the United States might not necessarily know. So you definitely want to prepare that. They actually do have the tests online as well at the USCIS website. So I'm going to provide the link to those practice tests in the description below. But yeah, so basically you will be able to practice. So practice, and you shouldn't have any issues. As far as the English test, I wouldn't if you lived here 5 years and you can't answer those questions, you have a problem. You probably shouldn't apply. But it's very simple, very basic writing, like I have a pen, like something like that. You don't need anything how to write a paragraph or write an essay. You don't need anything like that now. So I wouldn't really prepare for that. I would definitely prepare for the civics test though, because I believe it's 10 questions and you can answer wrong 8, but I might be wrong with that. And then, so if you pass the interview, basically answer all the questions they might have for you, and then they're gonna give you the test for civics test and English test. If you pass those, they're gonna approve your application. And once you approve the application, you don't become citizen back in that day. You're just approved, and then you're gonna wait for the oath of allegiance. So it's basically naturalization ceremony. They're gonna play a video with your current president on, and they're gonna congratulate you, give you a little USA flag, and you're gonna like swear that you're gonna be fantastic citizen and all that kind of stuff. It's actually pretty exciting, especially for people who care for this country and want to become actually citizen just because they love the country, not because they need it for some other purposes. It's actually a very emotional and exciting process. So I've seen a lot of people cry and be excited, and I was actually very excited when I got mine too. So it was a big deal in my life. Then that's when they give you the certification of naturalization. That's when they give you this, and that's when you become officially a citizen of the United States of America. Of course, you don't have to, they're not going to give you the passport. You have to apply for a passport separately, but you're going to need this paper when you apply for a passport. But you're going to need this paper everywhere else to prove that you are a citizen, or the passport. If you did apply for a passport and did get a passport, that will work as a proof as well. You have 30 days once you start the application. You don't have to finish it right there and then. You have 30 days to finish it. They ask about your name. You fill out the name, check out your contact information. So you need a history of 5 years history where you lived. For the travel outside the US tab, you just provide the dates when you were outside of US and provide the country you were in, and they do the math calculating how many days you were away. So then after that, so it's getting started tabs, about you tabs, and then your family. So family, they're gonna ask you that you're married, and then current spouse, and they're gonna ask all about my information, and then some information about your parents. And then after that, you go to moral character, which is basically about if you've committed any crime, legal court issues, blah blah, and all of that. So in our case, my wife is pretty good girl, so she hasn't had any issues here. And then you go to evidence tab. It actually wasn't as bad. They don't require anything extraordinary, just basic confirmation that you are who you are, and some basic information about your family that you live together. If you're a legitimate good family, you should have all this information, no problem. So they're gonna ask for a copy of your green card, back and front. They're gonna ask for your marriage certificate, and they also going to ask tax document for the last 3 years. It's not a requirement, so pay attention. So it's not a requirement, you don't have to provide that, but if you've been away from the country for at least 6 months, they strongly encourage you to provide 3 years of taxes. I uploaded that just in case, even though we haven't been outside of US for 6 months. I attached that just in case, just to be safe. And then evidence of your name change. They provide examples what that could be: divorce decree, court document, or marriage certificate. I uploaded marriage certificate again. It doesn't hurt me. Evidence of your current spouse's citizenship. That's when you're gonna need this magic paper. Just the front picture of that. And then evidence about your marriage. So that's when they ask quite a few. Well, actually, they just include examples that you might provide. They don't specify how many examples they want. But again, to be on the safe side, they don't ask for anything super special. So I provided basically all examples they provided. So they asked for joint bank and credit card statements. We have that. Lease or mortgage statement. We have that. Birth certificate of children. I uploaded that. Insurance policies. Just uploading our insurance card. And then IRS, again, tax returns. I uploaded again here. Might as well. They ask, hey. And then they want evidence about your children. So I upload birth certificate again. And then they ask for additional evidence you want to provide. Basically, when they describe why they need that, that's in case you have something extraordinary. Our case, I'm not uploading anything because I literally don't have anything extraordinary. And then at the very bottom, they're gonna say that we found no alerts or warning in your form, which is very good news. That's what I want to see. Basically, they're gonna give you the application, everything you filled out. You can go through, double check again if you want. And then you gotta acknowledge that you can read and understand English, understood every single question and instruction on this application. Then you're gonna basically sign and say, yes, all documents that I submitted are not fake. And then you gotta pay for your application. So the final step to submit your application is to pay the required fee, pay and submit. So there's not any fee if you pay with a credit card, or if you want to pay for your checking account. If you have a check to provide, you could do that also. In my case, I'm just gonna pay with a card. Alright, and then once you pay, They're gonna say that you successfully submitted your application for naturalization. You can track the status of your application through your USCIS online account. We have applied! Yay! And just like that, you apply application N-400. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy. Just make sure you're eligible. It's time for you to apply. They say it takes about 3 months for them to process it. I will keep you guys updated, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Hit the like button, ask any questions in the comment below, and subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna go and celebrate. Bye! All right, let's go. Let's just go. All right, let's go. We're just going. 725 mother.